podcast back there. Okay. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm your boy, Nary Chase. In this video, we're doing episode 71 of the Streamline podcast. Sorry, I haven't been really consistent, but I always got to explain to you guys why I'm not consistent with things. Doing so much. Anyways, in this episode, I want to talk about three very interesting topics. Of course, got to talk about the Avengers Endgame hype, my thoughts of what I want to see from the film. I just watched the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer, but I might play it again so that way I could talk about it once more. Also, the new Digimon Survive game that's supposed to be coming out, my thoughts about that as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this discussion. First of all, Avengers Endgame is supposed to be is coming out this week, and we can't wait to see uh, just how it's all gonna end. For those who don't know, Avengers Endgame is a sequel to Avengers Infinity War, in which Thanos got all of the Infinity Stones, did the magical snap, and now half the universe is dead. So now, Avengers Endgame, the Avengers have to undo that. Now they got to take the fight to Thanos, and it's all or nothing, and that's what everybody wants to see. They just want to see how the good guys are actually going to make it out of this, and of course they do. I mean, after all, Marvel has scheduled quite a few movies to follow up after this. So of course you know that they're going to survive, but we got to figure out who's going to survive and who's going to die off. Now, at this point, a lot of the actors have been playing some of these roles. You got Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. You have Robert Downey Jr. playing Thor, Captain America, and of course Iron Man. And I expect to see some of these characters die off. I kind of want. I feel like I kind of want to as well with the whole Phase 4 that's coming on and some of the contracts being ending after this film. So I kind of feel like I want to see some of these characters just kind of die off. And this is a war against a titan that killed half the universe. I'm quite sure some of these people are going to die. I mean, hell, Gamora died in Infinity War. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't die from the Infinity Stones or anything. She got thrown off a really high cliff. So I want to see her die. You know, I want to see some of these characters die off. And I like Gamora. Gamora is actually one of my favorite characters. But you know, I don't expect to see because one thing Infinity War actually brought some emotion with the tragic deaths of some of its characters. So I'm expecting to see more of these characters die off. Not only, you know, the main group that excuse me, early morning, but I expect some of these characters, the main cast to die off. Some of the characters that return to die off, or some of the characters that died off during the snap not return. Like I expect to see that. But I also expect to see straight up good storytelling. This movie's supposed to be 3 hours long, which I don't mind because I want to see a good movie. I don't want to see a fast, quick movie. I want to see a good movie that explores the characters, that explores the story, that gives us a lot of great depth and emotion, especially with something like this. And I want to see some action sequences because the action sequences from Infinity War was badass. Like they took stuff, the whole war, Wakanda, and one of my favorite fights, of course, is all the heroes fighting Thanos. I thought that was one of the most impressive fights I've ever seen in a comic book movie because it actually showcased a good bit of all these characters. And one thing about Infinity War is you got a big roster of characters, and you actually gave a shit about them all. They all contributed in significant ways and small ways. Everybody seemed to have a moment, and I really, really, really appreciate that about Infinity War. And I definitely want to see this with Endgame. All of these characters, I want to see that they all matter. That the decisions actually help to either to save the universe or hinder it. You know what I'm saying? Think about Star Lord, him being him. What happened? He kind of screwed up everything, but because it got so emotionally invested over Gamora's death. But it's understandable because the character. So I am hyped to see this movie. It sucks that I'm not going to be able to see it on opening night, but actually the day before. But when we have the chance, definitely want to talk about this film. I think it's going to be just completely epic, and uh, you know where does Marvel go after this? Can there be another Avengers film without the main characters? And me personally, like I said, I wouldn't mind if they died off. They've had their time, even though Chris Hemsworth is probably going to be Thor too, especially when I just came across something where they're possibly going to be working on a fourth Thor movie, which I'm like, okay, yes, I'm kind of hyped to kind of see that, but I'm like, no, I don't want, I want Chris Hemsworth to kind of like exit. There's a lot of other Marvel characters that could take up the role, that get more shine, and I kind of want to see them do that. Um, so I'm actually, like I said, I'm hyped to see it. I know everyone's hype. I know they got it buzzing me. Me and Madam B was sitting here watching Tubi TV, and almost every commercial break was the Avengers. You know, the Avengers Endgame going to be coming out in 4 days. Going to come out in 3 days. So I'm actually hyped to see this, and I want to see if they. I know that they're gonna defeat Thanos, but I want to see if they kill him. I want to see the evolution of his character. Is he's the one of the few villains in the movie that's actually won. So excuse me, I'm sorry. And also, I want some of the characters they didn't really show to actually show up. I was kind of disappointed that Wasp wasn't going to be in the movie, especially since I watched Ant-Man and Wasp. And Wasp was actually pretty cool. And Valkyrie is actually supposed to be coming back as well. So I'm interested to see like what's going on with her, as well as a bit more of, like, I want to see how Ant Man got that damn what's the name's on. That's what I want to see. I heard the chick Ghost, which I would like to see Ghost come back as well. So there's a lot to ask for in this film, but all we can do is just sit here and wait and see what happens, because there you go. Wait to see what happens. So Avengers Endgame comes out this week. Guys, go enjoy it. Go watch this freaking movie and see how it all comes to an end. Now, on the other side of the coin, let's talk about the new Star Wars trailer that dropped. Star Wars Episode 9 has been officially was been announced and everything, but the trailer dropped a few days ago, or like a week ago, or something like that. But I didn't watch it, and it's supposed to be coming out the end of this year. What are my thoughts about Star Wars Episode 9? I hope that this movie doesn't kind of fall into some of the traps that the previous two movies have kind of done. It actually does look pretty cool. I mean, it's a teaser trailer, so you're not going to see all this over the cool stuff or anything, but I like that it kind of does have this passing of the torch type feel to it, and I believe that is. I can't tell if that's Han Solo or Luke Skywalker that's kind of narrating, but I think it's Luke Skywalker, and it's about basically the passing of the torch. And I kind of like that because you do get a part where you see Finn. You do get a part where you see Ray and I forgot the other guy's name, but you do see that this younger generation is taking up the mantle and everything. You get to see Kylo kill the shit out of somebody. Also, Lando comes back. You actually get a little scene with Lando and Chewbacca flying the Millennium Falcon. So I think that's actually pretty cool to kind of have him ability to come back to play the role. Now, honestly, I never really too much gave two shits about Lando's character because I felt like in the movie he really didn't do enough to be significant. But in the original movies or anything like that. But okay, it's good to see he come back. Carrie Fisher. We get a little sequence with her and Ray actually hugging, and I think that's actually pretty significant. So I'm interested to see how big a role she's going to play, especially after she passed away. So that's most unfortunate. But the question is, how are the characters going to? How are we going to show the evolution of these characters from the last film? I'm interested to see what level of uh, a maturity that you're going to see from Kylo's character as well as Rey's character. And I know they gave kind of a reason as to why. Kind of a BS reason a lot of fans didn't like about Rey's parents and all that. Me personally, I don't want to see all these characters always be a part of this like legend, this prophecy and stuff, and everybody's expecting Rey to actually be like the daughter of Luke Skywalker, and I'm like, I don't want to see. I don't really want to see that. I want to see other. There are literally other characters that matter, and some of them are just kind of random. So I kind of want to see that. And the little Chan girl, please bring her back. I know I'm one of the few people that actually like the character, but bring her back. She was actually a decent character to me, and she actually did bring something to the table, and I really appreciate it about her character. So I hope that they don't kill her character off with some stupid crap like that or write her off, because I actually liked the character. She did introduce something new that I never really considered about the Star Wars universe. So please bring her back. Even if you have to change her up a little bit, just bring her back. But you get this really cool scene where Rey's like in the desert and this really big ship, like the ship is like racing toward her, and then she like runs and then jumps on the ship. So it's like, is that like a final battle sequence where Kylo like hunts is like waiting for Rey is like waiting for Kylo Ren, and then that's where they're going to have like the final duel. Because that's what it kind of looks like. That's what I was thinking it was. She's waiting for him, and it's not going to be in like the First Order tower or something like that. It's not going to be during this big ass battle or anything. It's just going to be this scene where these two meet up to end it. So kind of like Avengers Endgame. I'm gonna say Star Wars Endgame. I think that would actually be a pretty cool title as well. Not really Rise of Skywalker or Fall of the First Order or something like that. I know there was Fall of the First Order, but I think that somebody just did that, and I Fall of the Order or something like that. But I want to see how it all comes, because the last film established that Bray and Kylo do have this kind of link, and I want to see if this movie explores that relationship between them two. Now, of course, Luke Skywalker says that people are not truly dead, so of course Luke Skywalker's supposed to be coming back. The previous film, Yoda came back, and if you know, a lot of people that do die in the Force, they don't stay. They're still, they die, but they can come back through the Force. Obi-Wan did it, and Empire Strikes Back. Yoda did it in the last film. Um, and also, there is a little tease about the Emperor coming back, because you do hear him laughing. Emperor from the original trilogy. So I'm like, how? I'm not gonna say how they're coming back, and I'm not gonna say I didn't want him to come back, but because of Yoda came back and Obi-Wan came back and Anakin came back at one point, I wouldn't mind actually seeing that character come back, but I want it to be significant. I don't want it to be him masterminding everything. I want it to be actually significant. And I want to know also, is Snook going to be coming back as well? Because Snook was actually an interesting bad guy to me. He was an interesting character because you didn't really know much about him. And he did kind of get killed off early before you can actually learn about him. So I kind of feel like he is more of a plot device than actual relevance. The plot device to actually get Kylo to that point, but not. But then he gets killed off because you don't really get, you don't really need him. So I think that, like I said, this is all the evolution between these two characters. Now, me personally, Ray, I want Ray to take a loss in this movie because some people have said things, and I kind of agree with them. Ray's pretty much been just coasting through these movies without really having too much development arc. Um, and I can understand a lot of the things that she's been through has toughened her up, but I want to see a development arc with the character in this film. I do want to see her take a loss, but I want to see her bounce back and grow as a character, as well as I want to see Kylo do the same thing. Kylo has taken a loss, and he's taking on a bit of heartache as well, especially with the death of his mother, especially the death of his father. Even though technically she didn't die, but he thought she died. So and also, I do want to see Luke come back. I will agree with that. I want to see Luke come back. I do want to see a freaking actual fight between him and Kylo, but we're interested to see how we're going to do it. Now, and this time around, make Finn do something significant, because I like Finn. Finn was awesome. And I'm interested to see, is Finn and Lando possibly going to have like this relationship similar to how Han and Ray had this kind of relationship. So it's interesting. It's interesting. The Star Wars trailer got me really interested. There's not too much there, but it's interesting, especially one of the last shots where the three are standing on like this cliff, and you see this water, just this ocean, and this big structure in the background. It's like very terrifying and really awesome looking. So I'm interested to see where they're gonna go with this. I'm actually interested, and like I said, they left off, of course, on the laugh from Palpatine. So Palpatine's obviously coming back in some capacity. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the Digimon game, Digimon Survive, that's supposed to be coming out now. It's been a while since I've jumped on any of the Digimon games, but it's because a lot of the Digimon games aren't really interesting. I did play two of the handheld ones, and I thought they were pretty fun. Digimon Links and Digimon Heroes, I think it was called. Think it was called. So they were pretty fun. And of course, those who know what Digimon is, Digimon is an anime that follows kids that end up getting transported to this world, and now they have to help those. Now, while they're on their journey to return home, they're helping these Digimon, these digital creatures, against bad digital creatures, and sometimes actual bad people too. So it's like Pokemon, but not as not you don't catch Digimon. You actually kind of have one, and that's your best friend, and you help them grow and evolve to fight bad guys and stuff like that. So Digimon is actually pretty cool, and it's been a while. It's been around probably as long as Pokemon has. So they both dropped like in like the late 90s, and there was a big competition. And I think that competition is still kind of going on right now. But anyways, let's talk about this. Um, on comicbook.com, it says celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Digimon anime, Digimon Survive presents a brand new adventure set in a mysterious world with characters designed by Uchi Ukumo and music by the much acclaimed Tomoki Miyoshi. Digimon Survive sees a brand new group of teenagers led by Takuma Momozuka get lost on the school camping trip. That's what happened in the first one. Finding them transported to a strange new world of monsters and danger. As they fight their way back home through an animated world of difficult decisions and deadly battles, players' choices throughout the game will impact the evolution of their monster allies. And the final ending, battles in the game are fought in 2D in a more classic SRPG style. I'm actually interested in checking it out. I need to see if they actually have like a trailer or possible gameplay of it. I'm actually interested in playing it because, I like the fact they said the choices throughout the game will impact the evolution of the monster allies. And for those who don't know, uh, your choices, like Tai, end up forcing Agumon to digivolve to his ultimate form in a negative way and turn him into Skull Greymon. But in the actuality, if it had been more positive, he would turn to Metal Greymon. So I'm interested to see if they're going to explore it that way, or perhaps like if you want your Digimon to, if they have more RPG elements with a Digimon, if you boost up on their strength, more their strengths at a certain point, would they digivolve to this type of creature, or if you boost up all of their stuff more evenly, would they digivolve to this creatures? Say if um, uh, uh, call her right back. They're saying like Bergermon, if you boost up on her special attack, would she evolve to Aquilamon or something like that? And if you boost up simply on her health or something, would she Digimon? Like, will it branch out like that, or will like the actual story based choices actually make like a one-time decision of what they digivolve into? So it's an interesting dynamic. I'm actually interested in playing it. Uh, and also, Digimon really haven't had really memorable games like that. Yeah, there's to be some decent ones, but not really memorable. So, especially with them saying that it's going to a 2D format with the battles, which I think is actual interesting turn of events. Especially, I've been playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and the whole them going back to 2D aspect actually works with. Works with the game. So I'm actually interested to see if it's going to be an engaging story. Yes, this story does seem like it's pretty straightforward, but I want to see if it's going to be a more interesting story. Because, like I said, we've seen this story happen before, and what are they going to do this time around to actually change that dynamic? Also, I want to know if these kids are going to be half decent. I want to know if these Digimon are going to be half decent. And I want to see if they're going to have any characters and or Digimon, well, human characters and Digimon from previous season make a return as well. Because is this fitting in the same universe as the other Digimon? In some incarnations, yes, they are. Such as like the first two seasons, that yeah, they were in the same one. And I think Digimon Try actually went back and brought back some of those original characters as well. So we'll see about what Digimon Survive has to present. Because, and also I want to see. I know it says an animated world, but is this going to be like open world, or is it going to be kind of like those linear line ones where it's not really open world, but you got the kind of this weird option to kind of go to places, but you don't really have option to explore those places. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. But I don't want to make this video too long, guys. In this episode of Streamline Podcast, what did you think about Avengers Endgame? What do you want to see? What did you come out thinking of on the Star Wars 9 trailer? And what do you expect to see with the Digimon Survive game that's supposed to be coming out? It does look like it's going to have some talent behind it. So we'll see how it goes. All right, definitely catch you guys later. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. Catch you guys later.